Here's hoping everything's working out. Why am I even doing this? Hi, guys. How are you? Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. And this show was supposed to start an hour and 15 minutes ago. But, okay, I should say it was supposed to start about 15 minutes ago. And I started setting it up an hour and 15 minutes ago and just had problem after problem after problem. Ugh. You know, technology's great and I wouldn't change it, but man, when it doesn't work, it just does not work. How are you guys? Hope you're well. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who went over and watched last night's stream on Rumble. Sorry we had to do that, but somebody who left a comment over there said it best. Like, this shut down when I was midway through watching it and I was mad. And then I came over here and now I understand. Yeah, we just kind of look, YouTube. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes we have to be very careful because they don't like humor around here. All right, guys, we just got a lot to jump into. That's not true. I don't even have a lot. Why did I say that? I have a lot of thoughts. I don't know how much it's going to translate into actual content here because I'm bad at my job. We're going to talk about Don Lemon. We haven't shit on that guy in quite a while, and how bad do you have to be fired before you get the job? Jesus Christ. All right. So for those of you who don't know, Don Lemon got fired by CNN last April, May, June, somewhere around there. They got fired last year. And Elon Musk sent out a tweet to Lemon saying, "Hey, you should come over here." And we'll get to more of that in a little bit because Don's telling of this is just insane. But apparently there was some behind the scenes negotiations and kind of like with Tucker Carlson, um, he was going to move his show over to just doing it exclusively on X, or at least partially exclusively on X. I can't say that. It makes it sound like everybody's on ecstasy. Over on Twitter. And I'm trying to get with the times and, it's called X now. But what's the point of calling it X when you have to say X, formerly known as Twitter, every time? You know what I mean? So anyway, he seems like he's getting ready to launch his show, and he has this interview with Elon Musk last Friday, and it didn't go real well. We have very few clips of it. It's actually supposed to come out tomorrow or the next day. I forget which, but it's still coming out. And apparently it went so bad, and Elon Musk is such a thin-skinned prick. He broke the deal with Don Lemon. Dark Resurrect, thank you. I hate the tax codes. Holy shit. My wife and I are finally going to file jointly. No one told us how that works because she owes $2K. She makes less than me, and I'm getting a refund. None of this makes sense. You guys file separately? We've always filed either joint or head of household. There was a time when there was a marriage penalty where it made more sense to there's a standard deduction in taxes, guys. Like, if you're a single man, I think this year it's like $13,000. You just take that off whatever you owe, and then your taxes are on what's left. And for married people, it's 27,000. It's like 13,800 for a single, and I think it's 27,000, something like that. I forget, for filing a joint. But way back in the day, God, I think this goes back to the Clinton years. It was actually smarter to file separately because you both got the individual deduction, which was more than the joint deduction. Never made any sense. And somebody finally pointed it out, and the tax people went, "Oh, yeah, that doesn't make any sense." But anyway, sorry, we'll get off taxes. I got to get mine done. I got to get all my information together. I also need to renew my driver's license this year. Ugh. What the hell am I even talking about? Oh, we're talking about Don Lemon. So Don Lemon does this interview with Elon Musk, and it's so bad that he just held truth to power, don't you know? He asked Elon the difficult questions. Now, I haven't seen it, and we're gonna have to look at it when it comes out. It might be one of those ones where we go over it piece by piece. Can you freely choose how to file your taxes? As long as you're honest, yeah, absolutely you can. All right. There we go. Let's go back to the beginning. How do I want to do this? Do I want to We're going to talk about how this broke down. Mostly because it gives me a chance to laugh at what a complete fucking retard Don Lemon is. Don Lemon, I have no doubt that there's some truth to the notion that the negotiations for this contract fell through because of that interview. Because apparently there was a deal being worked out behind the scenes, because you can monetize over on Twitter now. And Don Lemon wanted some guarantees, and he wanted a basic journalism contract, the kind of shit that he would get from CNN. We'll get to that. Don't get ahead of me, Faithless. It wasn't just outrageous money. He was asking for outrageous money. But before we get to the contract, we're going to back up and we're going to watch how Don Lemon tells this story. And then we're going to read how the Hollywood Reporter reports this story. And then we're going to see the truth, because it's just much more fun that way. Where I had that video queued up. God bless. Okay. So Don Lemon goes on to The View the other day to talk about this, to talk about how horrible this all is because of that thin-skinned son of a bitch, Elon Musk. And I'm sorry, guys, we got to watch The View. It's important, though, I promise.
When you left CNN last year, Elon Musk actively...
Wait, stop. He didn't just leave CNN. Can we be honest? When you got fired for being a prick, can we just say it that way? How come the news has to lie? We're going to hold truth to power unless we're talking to other journalists. But anyway, yeah, he got fired. He got fired for his show being garbage, his late night show, then him being incredibly rude to the women he worked with in the morning, being a diva little bitch. And that's what he gets fired for. But when you left, makes it sound like, hey, guys, I really enjoyed my time here, but I'm going to take off. I got other endeavors to do.
When you left CNN last year, Elon Musk actively courted you to be on Twitter, X, whatever he calls it. Have you considered doing a show, he said, on this platform? Maybe worth a try. Audience is much bigger.
I'll finish that for her because she screwed it up and I paused thinking she was going to get it right. I've only watched this one time, so I can't tell you where all of the mistakes are from their side. But this is actively courting. Have you considered doing your show on this platform? That I guess you could say technically that's actively courting, but this isn't, hey man, if you come over here, we'll give you hookers and blow. You know what I mean? He actively courted you. It's a tweet going, hey, bro, you got fired. You think about doing one over here? Maybe we can both make some money out of it. I don't know. Just, we got a bigger audience than those shitbags you work for right now. Or, well, no longer work for right now. I just love the framing of it. He actively courted you. Like, they were taking him out to dinner and shit. Thank you so much, Alan, who says, morning, monkey. Good morning, sir. Thank you. He actively courted you. He was trying to marry you. He wanted to smell your ball juice. That's an old joke around here. If you guys don't know the ball juice story, we're not going over it right now.
Bigger, said Elon Musk. But everyone knows how controversial Musk is. So I have to ask you, didn't you know this was going to end badly? He's, Musk is not really,
Didn't you know this was going to end badly? He's literally where he was with last night. Was last night's show really so good that it couldn't stay on YouTube? Those of you who saw last night's show, give me a 1 if you think I did the right thing taking it off of YouTube. Anyway, yeah, the notion here, dude, that fucking Elon Musk, you knew what he was like. You know what he was like. What did he do to him? He didn't ruin the dude's career. It's not like he went out. Well, I mean, we'll get to that in a little bit. But at this point, it's not like he was like, we're going to crush that Don Lemon son of a bitch. All he did was say, yeah, we're not even negotiating with you anymore. And again, we'll get to that in a little bit. But the framing of this, our news And yes, I realize this is The View, but whether you like it or not, a lot of people get their news from The View. As sad as that is, our media is trash. How many ones can I give, Monkey? Brand, you can give as many as you like.
Into this with my eyes open. And look, this is just an old saying in the South, and they say, you knew I was a snake before you picked me up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a snake, but I'm just saying that it's relative.
Right.
You are calling him a snake by using that. That is a specific saying about the person being a shitty person. It's not just about knowing what you're getting into. It's specifically about getting fucked over, dickbag.
To this. So I went into this with my eyes open, but truly, I went into it with the best of intentions.
Did you?
I heard your conversation just briefly about independence. I am an independent, regardless of what.
Okay, I'm about to get annoyed. I'm be honest, I forgot this part was in here. He's going to explain his politics, you guys. And there's a little hint there. He just said he's an independent. Don Lemon is honestly claiming he's not a liberal. I'm just an independent.
What people think, Elon Musk thinks I'm on the left or what have you. I'm an independent. I believe in free speech.
Do you? I mean, I'm fairly certain we've seen you talk about how certain people shouldn't be allowed to speak. I believe in free speech as long as it's on the left. I'm not a lefty, I'm an independent. Oh, Jesus. I don't think he knows what independent means. Well, here's the thing. Am I saying that correct? Am I even close? I'll just call you Shade because I can pronounce that. You have to understand that the people in the media and most people that are so far left that all of us can look at and go, you are pretty far left. They really do believe that they're centrist. They really do believe that they only look at these smart things and the intellectually sound ideas, the common sense. They really do believe this. They're delusional, but they really do believe it.
I believe that people have the right to say whatever they want to say, but you suffer the consequences for it when you say it.
Right.
Now, define suffer the consequence. Go ahead. Because that's the important. There's tons of people who say that. I believe that you suffer the consequence. I believe that. I believe that if you go out there and you say, I hate the Jews, then people are going to push back. And yeah, they have every right to push back on you being an anti-Semite. But that's not the same as saying, so you shouldn't be allowed to say that anywhere. Keep your name. Thank you. I saw that the stream was deleted, but why? I must have missed something. Because it really started with the blind football kid. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Not all consequences are equal. Yeah. I remember if you go back to when I first started on this platform, right? On YouTube. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I don't like burping in here. It's so gross. Anyway, if you go back to when I first started around here, it was funny if you did a video responding to, say, a bedroom feminist, right? One of the biggest critiques you would get back, it wouldn't be about what you actually said. They would say this to you. I thought you believed in free speech. Why are you attacking this person? They honestly believe that they should be allowed to say whatever they want. And because I say I believe in free speech, that nobody should be able to say anything about it. And that's the wrong way to look at it, too. By the way, that only went one way. What he means with consequence, you suffer the consequences here. What he's saying there is I believe in canceling. And not canceling by you and me being mad at what somebody said. He believes that, like, Twitter should take you down if you say the wrong thing because, hey, you suffered the consequence of breaking their rule. Monkey, you deserve to get in trouble yesterday for what you did on YouTube because you made jokes you shouldn't have made. There's a difference between public backlash and actual life-altering things like losing your ability to make money on a platform because there's consequences. There are consequences, but it shouldn't be one that actually quiets your speech down. Now, if you choose because of the backlash to shut the fuck up and stop saying stupid things, that's on you. But we're off on a whole different topic.
I took them at their word. They courted me for months.
Yeah.
And
They courted me for months. We'll get to that.
when their new CEO came aboard, she courted me. Their management team courted me. They sweetened.
Now, I will say this. I have no doubt that the new chick, what's her name? Yaba Doobie, I don't fucking care. The chick, the CEO of Twitter now, she used to work in the entertainment industry. I have no doubt that there were behind the scenes deals going on to try to get Don as an exclusive over there, which, by the way, I don't understand, Elon. Don Lemon is not a draw, man. Travis Gardner, thank you. Musk went easy on him. I'm just thinking of what I would do if I had billions of fuck you money. Hell, I would have hired Tucker just to spend hours mocking him while he watched. Fair. I have no doubt that there were negotiations going on in the background. But you'll notice through all of this, there is no, why is he wearing a chick shirt? Because he's a girl. You'll notice through all this, he doesn't present any evidence of anything. Not a goddamn thing. It's just, yeah, they were courting me. He just said, I cut it off. Sorry. That's a consequence of Monkey being a pause maniac. He's like, they sweetened the deal. Well, yeah, they probably said, hey, tell you what, we'll give you X amount. Guaranteed you'll make this much, right? Because that's how negotiations work. But he's making it sound like they were begging him, and he's like, I really don't want to do it. Come on, man, we'll give you the hookers. Nah, I can't. We got the blow too. Nah, we'll let you rub your ball juice under people's noses. Ooh, really? He just makes it sound like they were, like he is such a big commodity. Don fucking Lemon, worst journalist of the year. Don fucking Lemon is such a huge commodity that Twitter was just all over it. No other news source will take you. But it was, yeah, Twitter was just, they were fighting for you. Della Hayes, thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel, my friend. Thank you, thank you. It's amazing to me. It really is to watch the fucking, I'm an arrogant person. And I don't say that. You guys might laugh or think I'm joking. I really am. I'm quite arrogant. But I have nothing on the people who work in media. The people who work on your nightly news, or especially when you get up to the cable news desks, I have nothing on them when it comes to narcissism. Not a fucking, these people are ridiculous. Pumpkin Trucker, thanks so much. Evening Monk, much like last night's stream, I'm just a bit tardy. You guys are going to get me in trouble on one that I'm not even on. Thank you so much. Somebody tell Jack to wake his ass up. We're making fun of Don Lemon. Anyway, where are we? They were just courting me.
Sweeten the deals with incentives. And I said that was the biggest and best place for me to launch a show. And
they were the only ones offering you anything. Because you're Don Lemon. The best thing you've done was your pseudo gay in between show interactions with Chris Cuomo. That was the only thing that got you some attention. Most of the time, people rolling their goddamn eyes at you.
Because you know what's happening with television now and
Yeah.
what have you. It's shrinking.
Yeah.
But I thought, why seed Twitter or X is one of the biggest social media platforms in the world, one of the biggest information platforms in the world. Why cede that platform to extremists?
Yeah.
All right, pause that. Thank you, Aaron, for becoming a member of the channel. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Notice what he said there, right? First is like, yeah, you see what's happening on television. It's shrinking. But what I really was after was to go over there and not cede the platform to the extremists. Now, for the record, I've said this before. All of these lefties out there who've left Twitter, I'm leaving Twitter because they're letting the other side speak. I said this when the right was doing that. When I got kicked off Twitter, I'm going to where only we are. It makes no sense to cede ground to the other side. It really doesn't. So it's a good talking point that he brought up here. But this is copium. This is what the kids call cope. Because the reality is he wanted to go where the big audience was because he's worked for CNN so long he forgot what having an audience is. And he then turns around and he's like, nah, bro, what I really wanted was just to make sure that there was an independent, wait, We all know what he means when he says extremist, right? We all know what that meant. It doesn't actually mean extremist. It just means, to the right of Mao, to the right of Stalin. And he's like, oh yeah, I was just gonna go over there and be the warrior for truth. I'm the good guy. You're such a fucking douchebag, man. Just be honest. You went over there for the audience. That's what you were going there for. You saw Tucker blow the fuck up over there. Absolutely crush even his Fox News numbers. And you're like, ooh, I'm going to be the next Tucker Carlson. I'm going to be the gay Tucker Carlson. Okay, but it didn't work out for you because you're a narcissistic twit. That'll come up again later. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get on there and I wanted to fight it out so everyone could have a voice.
Yeah.
You wanted to go fight it out where everyone had a voice. Hey, let me ask you something, homie. Back before X was bought by by Elon, did you ever speak out against the censorship of right-wing voices over there? Or did you do stories saying that the right wing was lying about their censorship? Oh, right.
And they were basically begging you to do it.
Yeah.
They were basically begging. Yes. Elon Musk was like, oh my God, we desperately need to have this ball juice dude over here on our platform. Oh my God. The narcissism. They basically were begging you. Yes. Because Twitter's been doing so bad since Musk took over that they needed Don Lemon. Don Lemon was going to save it, you guys, with his massive audience. Now, look, he would absolutely get a bigger audience than he had on CNN, but shit, we have a bigger audience than he did on CNN some nights. Anyway, they were basically begging you.
Yeah, they were.
And you did it even though a lot of your friends told you were crazy.
Like you.
Thank you.
A lot of their friends tell you you're crazy. By the way, isn't she the one that used to claim to be a right-leaner? Am I thinking of the right chick? What would be crazy? Seriously, what would be crazy about doing it over there and making more money and not having to worry about some asshole at the top going, no, you can't make that. Can't do that story. Elon needs to dump all the emails, offers, and communications. Oh, yeah. Well, again, we'll get to that.
Like you.
I did too. But so Elon Musk famously claims to be a big proponent of free speech. He refers to himself as a free speech absolutist. He calls X the digital town squares. Yeah. And he willingly agreed to this interview that you asked for. And said that there were no restrictions. Mm-hmm. So what exactly happened? What set him off? And then he sends this terse text to your agent saying, contract is canceled. What was your reaction?
The law doesn't really work like that, Elon.
Actually, the law does work exactly like that because there wasn't a signed contract, you fucking retard. There was no signed contract here. That's the important part. Now, our little dumbass friend there, I forget her name. She's like, Elon Musk says he's a free speech absolutist. What happened in the interview? Again, he can claim to be a free speech absolutist, but still believe that there's consequences for your free speech. Again, not government, not necessarily getting kicked off of platforms. And remember, there's lots of people who are like, Elon Musk isn't free speech. There's still rules on Twitter. There's rules on Twitter because there have to be to deal with laws. That's just the reality of our world. Because how many times have I told you guys, if America should be pushing anything around the world, it should be the notion of free speech. It's one of the few things that we can do, encourage free speech everywhere, that would be easy, very easy, very little reason for anybody to make a good argument against it, except too many places are reliant on there not being free speech. We should be demanding right now that Canada knock off all of its censorship shit. These are people who destroyed folks' bank accounts because they went to rallies against having to wear a mask while you're driving alone in a truck. And we as Americans didn't say a fucking thing about it. Now, we did, you know, the population did. There were tons of us saying this is fucking retarded. Our government didn't. They didn't go up there and go, what the fuck are you guys doing? But he's a three-piece absolutist. How come he got mad at you? All right, well, let's hear Don's telling.
Go
Well,
ahead.
all right, we'll talk about that, because there's a lot going on about that. What happened? Really, look, I would say that is that's a good question for Elon Musk, because
That's a good question for Elon Musk. Well, certainly, come on, man. You have the video footage. You can typically tell, and you know, we'll see this. I'm very curious to see how cut up that interview will be when it's finally released. But typically, you can tell when an interview changes, when something has set somebody off, right? Thank you, Devil Fruit Zero. Hey, Monk, Ball Juice Boy needs to realize he is not interesting. I know it's not what we're talking about, but did you see that, or what shit? Ricky Berwick stepped in with that joke that everyone took as anti-trans. Poor guy. No, I didn't see anything from Ricky. I'll have to check that out. But anyway, that's a question for Elon. Bitch, you know what you asked him. There were clips going around which had to have come from you. That is Anna Navarro. That's what I thought. Okay.
because he knows who Don Lemon is.
Mhm.
He knew who I was. He asked me to come on the platform. He offered incentives and money. They agreed to a deal. They flew me out to Las Vegas to announce this at CES. They trotted me out in front of clients, in front of advertisers. I went to the Twitter offices to do client meetings and to try to entice advertisers back to the platform.
Did you sign any deals? You did all of this shit without signing a deal? That makes you an idiot.
So I was a good soldier. I was doing my job. So what happened? I think it was just uncomfortable for him to sit in front of someone and actually have to answer questions, to be held accountable.
Right.
Tons of people have done interviews with him where they ask him uncomfortable questions. Stop acting like you did anything but be a dick. Is he going to cry? Probably.
To really, instead of being in a friendly, usually for the most part, his interviews are with a friendly crowd.
Did he
Right.
not ever
That's not true, but go ahead.
see you on television?
Yeah.
That's what I didn't
Yeah.
understand. Yeah.
Yes, but I would be.
That is actually a good question. Did he ever see you on television? And that's going to come back in a few minutes.
Well, he thought because he was
He thought he
paying
thought you.
you were supposed to kneel
He
at the
must
altar.
But that's not what journalists do.
Right.
I know that, but
He thought since he was paying you, which he wasn't, you were supposed to bend the knee. That's not what journalists do. Really? They never suck up to their bosses and all that stuff. Nobody at CNN covered up for your boss being a philandering dick. Hey, Donnie boy, how many times did you hold Zucker to account? That's not what we do. You guys fall all over yourselves for people you like. Let's just be honest. It doesn't necessarily have to be who's paying you, but it's them too. So stop it. Stop it. Anyway, that's enough of these fucking harpies. And it's enough that we get to the point where I want to move along to the next part of the story. And in this part of the story, we are looking at the Hollywood Reporter. Hollywood Reporter did a story about this. Elon Musk cancels Don Lemon's show after the interview. I'll scroll up so you guys can see. After the interview was taped for debut episode. Don Lemon won't be bringing a show to Elon Musk's X platform after all. That's actually not true. Totally not true. He is still going to be putting his stuff on Twitter. He's already said this. He just won't have an exclusive deal with Twitter. And the part of the interview that I cut off there when he's talking to The View, he goes on to say that there was going to be like 24-hour exclusivity. Basically, they were going to have a Twitch kind of thing, like Twitch used to have with his people. We're like, okay, it's got to be for us for 24 hours, then you can put it wherever else you want. And he has said since that interview, it's on his Twitter, that he's still going to be posting stuff on X. He's still going to be putting the information out up there. Is it this one right here? Yes. This is from earlier today. This is from 2:00 this afternoon. I welcome the opportunity to share the Don Lemon Show on X, and I challenge you, Elon Musk, to actually watch it and tell me it isn't exactly what you said you want on your platform. Tune in. Nobody's stopping him. You can make your own show on Twitter right now. Go over there and just say, hey, I'm doing a show here now. They allow live streaming over there. We might eventually start putting it up there too. I'm kind of, I don't know. What do you guys think about the idea of spreading an audience too thin? Having it on way too many platforms. I wouldn't even monetize over there. It's I don't know. I'm ambivalent about it, especially with their system right now. It's way too wonky. Anyhow, I have enough trouble keeping track of two chats. Lemon on Wednesday said that Musk had canceled the partnership I had with X. He informed me of his decisions hours after an interview I conducted with him on Friday. The interview with Musk is slated to be on the debut episode of the Don Lemon Show, which was supposed to debut on X and still can. It still can. You do not have to have an exclusive deal with Twitter to be able to make a show over there. Lemon says the interview will run as planned on YouTube and that future episodes will be released there. Again, that's different than what he said in his tweet, right? Like, I welcome the opportunity to share it on X. Anyway, Lemon said there were no restrictions in the interview and we had a good conversation. Clearly, he felt different. Replying to a comment on X, Musk said that he canceled the show because his approach was basically just CNN on social media, which doesn't work, as evidenced by the fact that CNN is dying. And instead of being the real Don Lemon, it was really just Jeff Zucker talking through Don, so lacked authenticity. All right, that's the part I want to concentrate on there. Elon Musk is a smart guy. I can't take that away for people like, he didn't actually make Tesla. No, but he was smart enough to see the value there and to put in the hard work and get the right people to make it happen. Typically, the captain of the ship doesn't know how to fix the fucking engine, right? He's the guy at the head who keeps everything else running. He's a smart guy. However, sometimes it seems to me like he's really naive when it comes to dealing with people. He thinks this is the part that it was really just Jeff Zucker talking through Don Lemon. No. That is Don Lemon. Don Lemon wasn't the way he was on CNN because Jeff Zucker told him to be that way. Don Lemon is exactly the asshole he appeared to be. He is that person. This bothered me so much when I read this. Like, how could you not? This goes to the question that Sunny asked over there on The View. I don't know her last name. I just remember her name is Sunny because it reminds me of Harlem Nights, where there's that joke that her pussy's so good if you threw it in the air it would turn into sunshine. And for that, I always hear that when I hear her name or see her face. I don't know why. I don't know if her vagina is that good or not. It's just what my brain does. But it does go to whether or not, have you ever watched Don Lemon? If you watch CNN, yes, the people in charge approve of what the person on camera is saying. That doesn't mean that the person on camera is only saying it because that's what the other one wants to hear. They're hired there because that's who they are. And it was just so weird to see that he thinks Don Lemon is just doing a Jeff Zucker impersonation. Whoops. It's just weird. All right. Now let's talk about the reality of the situation, shall we? So what we've heard so far is that Elon Musk was just out there trying to suck up to old Don, that he was doing everything in his power to get Don to come work for him. Don was going to save the platform and bring back the advertisers. I can't believe he said that. Anyway, the New York Post, and this is where we learned Don Lemon really is this stupid. Don Lemon demanded Tesla Cybertruck $5 million advance, equity in X before Elon Musk canned him, according to sources. And it's actually worse than this. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Don Lemon thinks so highly of himself. Not only did he think he deserved a, what are those, like $200,000 trucks? A $5 million advance, but also wanted equity in the platform. They were really they were sweetening that pot. Don Lemon demanded the sun, the moon, and the stars from SpaceX boss before being unceremoniously dumped this week, the Post has learned. The ex-CNN anchor sent over an astronomical wish list to Elon Musk during contract talks to host a show on the billionaire's social media X platform, including a free Tesla, $5 million upfront, $8 million annual salary, an equity stake in the company, and the right to approve changes in X policy as it relates to news content. Yeah, it was just that interview that made him go, yeah, we're not dealing with you anymore. Yeah, we're going to tell you to go fuck yourself, and yeah, we're done. It's all because of that interview. The ego on these people, the lies that they're willing to tell. It is amazing to me that anybody still falls for it. The fruit that would be a tyrant, yes. Motherfucker wanted to be able to set policy. Sorry, not set it. Approve it. So basically set policy. Those demands are delusional. They are. But this is how highly Don Lemon thinks of himself. Don Lemon thinks he's worth that. $5 million upfront, $8 million guaranteed, or $5 million guaranteed, $8 million a year salary, and a stake in the company, as well as, oh Jesus, that scared the shit out of me. Oh fuck. Like, what the hell was that? Anyway, stake in the company and to be able to approve policy. Is that a little different than how it was told over there on The View? Because over on The View, remember, they were sweetening the pot. This is what you were asking for, and you expect me to believe that they were sweetening that pot? Really? For oh, fuck off. Okay. Not really much else to talk about that other than the fact Don Lemon is a fucking retard, man. I cannot believe that there's people like this, even though I know they exist, especially in our media, man. This is the media. He used to have a major platform. This is a guy who kept his job despite getting blitzed out of his fucking mind and making an ass of himself and the network every New Year's Eve. If Elon gave that to Lemon, I would actually have called for Elon's arrest. Elon Musk called him Veruca Salt. He called him Don Veruca Salt Lemon. You guys don't know who that is? That's the bratty girl from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, or Charlie and Chocolate Factory, whatever it is. From the Willy Wonka movie that sucks. With the preachy little midgets. The fuck is Don smoking and can I have some? You have to understand where Don comes from. Don comes from oh yeah, and he wanted a luxury day in Vegas. I didn't get to that part of it. So Don Lemon talks about this in that interview on The View, where he mentions going to the electronics show, and like, they took me out there and they put me up in the hotel. He wanted them to pay for his alcohol tab, which, fuck, I don't think even Musk has that kind of money, and for massages for him and his fiance. Lemon says, I didn't do that, according to that New York Post report. Although he just told us on The View that he did. What's up, Jack?
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Just laughing at Elon Musk. Actually, I'm gonna tell you a really sad story. I hurt myself today.
Oh.
I was cutting a block of cheese.
Uh-oh.
That's it.
Oh.
That's the end of the story. I hurt myself cutting a block of cheese.
Well, there's a song about that. I hurt myself today cutting a block of cheese.
I was so
Pretty sure that's how the song goes.
that is the Johnny Cash version.
Yeah, the good one.
I was so disgusted with myself that after I just went to sleep, man.
Oh,
I hurt myself cutting cheese.
Did you eat the cheese at least?
I did have a piece, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Well, that's
I
the
like
important thing.
As a snack, we always basically have blocks of cheese cut up, and every so often I just grab one and eat one or two. It's a much healthier snack than grabbing like a big chunk of chocolate or something.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, sometimes they're not as soft as other, and this one was a bitch to cut through. It still chewed fine. It was just damn. What kind of cheese? It was a Colby Jack. Yes, I hurt myself cutting Colby Jack cheese. I'm a manly man.
Well, it happens. I like that people in the chat are like, "Hey, Jack," except Mr. E's like, "You're late." It's always one.
Dustin says my favorite is mozzarella. We typically have Colby Jack and mozzarella cut up. There's a local grocery store that has the best mozzarella I've ever tasted in my life. It's smooth.
Mozzarella is delicious. We used to get goat cheese from the Amish.
I've never tried goat cheese. I've heard it's good.
It is really good, but you don't buy like a processed one. Get some Amish stuff, because the heavily processed stuff is just kind of bland. It tastes like really lazy provolone.
Oh, okay.
So,
can I just mention we're probably the show that's not food related that's talked the most about cheese.
Well, we both like cheese.
We do.
It is delicious.
And of course, my favorite variety being the spray kind.
Yes, of course. Well, because you're a weirdo.
You know what's really good? And I'm not kidding. You take a little piece of like a Colby Jack block of cheese, cut it up, and put some American spray cheese on top of it.
That's fucking disgusting. Dude.
Oh, it's wonderful, dude.
That's just. I'm gonna pour a pile of chemicals and see what happens. But on that note, we are a channel that talks about things people are interested in, usually current events or hilarious things we find online, things that amuse us. But cheese is an important aspect of American life because other countries don't understand that. They have like one or two variety of cheese, and they don't realize what they're missing because they're sad little places. Americans better. Fuck you.
Dip the cheese in ranch. I do.
I don't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt if he dipped hunks of cheese into a bowl of Velveeta.
Oh, I would do that depending on the cheese.
I know you would, you weirdo.
I like the cheese. Anyway.
Real fast. Thank you, Alan, for the donation. He says, hello, my friend. Hey, Alan, hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying the day.
We were just talking about Don Lemon. I was actually wrapping the segment up. Did you see all of that?
I saw parts of it, and I saw the article from New York Post, and Don Lemon's an idiot.
He really does think he's worth all that. That's what I was telling the audience here is that these people who work, especially legacy media, and Don Lemon started there before social media. Social media started taking off, but the powers that be were still in your cable news. And you would be surprised how much news anchors make. The first time I heard these guys, this goes back to like the late 80s, early 90s, they're making $5 million a year to be the anchor for an hourly show. Like, are you fucking with me? Shouldn't they be making like minimum wage? These guys are paid like actors because they are. They're paid very, very well. And yeah, they're sucked up to, and a lot of them are diva little shitheads. It's what they expect. And coming to the real world where they're losing that power, I still do not understand what Elon Musk was thinking that bringing Don Lemon to the platform would do.
I think he was hoping to bring the idea of more balance. You know, that it's not just a right-wing platform.
Yeah. I mean, he says that he not Musk, Lemon, that he was going to he was not going to cede it to the extremists, Jack.
Oh, well, apparently he did because he didn't get his little Cybertruck.
And an equity stake and the ability to approve changes to policy related to news.
Why would you get any of that stuff?
That's the part that blew my fucking mind. What? Who the fuck, as an employee, gets told, "Yeah, you get to affect policy"? These are little commie shitheads.
Yeah, that's the stuff you hear from college student communists in Portland. Like, I didn't serve a stake in the company because I show up occasionally and do my job wrong.
Before we go on, it's Joyce's birthday tomorrow, and we're going to sing to her right now. Joyce, it's Mike's, Chicago Mike's wife. This one's for you, sweetheart. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joyce. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a good one. I really, really do. We'll be celebrating a birthday today because it's technically Saturday now. The birthday was earlier this week, but this is the first time we could all get together. So we got brownies in my future, Jack.
Oh, I'm actually very jealous because my future involves even less sleep.
In our house, you get to decide what your dinner and your bless you. Your dinner and your dessert are. Most people choose a kind of cake, but several in the family like brownies for their birthday. Like, fuck it, I'll eat brownies. I actually prefer brownies to cake myself, but Joyce, after hearing Monk and Jack sing, I'm getting a divorce. Mike didn't do it. So anyway, Don Lemon is a delusional throwback to a time when news anchors were given way more influence than they should have. These people, I'm going to go up there and read words that mostly were written by other people. I need millions of dollars, and I need you guys to hide the fact that I kill hookers in my off time.
Right? And smear my lemon juice on people's faces. No, Retro made a good point. Elon could have offered us $2 million in a Hot Wheels version of the Cybertruck, and we would have done it.
Hell yeah. And we would have been more interesting.
$1 million a piece, and I get a toy? Fuck yes! Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. At least Monk didn't hurt himself with a Kraft single. Shit, never mind. Don't give old Calamity Frank's subconscious any ideas.
Give me time. It's kind of funny watching lefties on Twitter because, like, the Krasensteins, I always come back to them because they're the best example of this.
They're so dumb.
They suck up to Elon Musk something fierce.
Well,
but because
how the grift happens.
Well, yeah, because they're little grifting shitbags, they also have to toe that insane leftist line. And watching them try to justify those two in their head is amazing to me. It's just fucking amazing.
That reminds me, I watched Willie Max video on Vouch today.
What'd you think?
One. It made me think of exactly what you just said. Like the magical thinking that must go on in that man's head. His inability to take responsibility for anything in his life. I thought it was great. It was a good video. But yeah, the Krasensteins are very much like that. They can square that circle because it's how they're making piles of money.
Yeah. Over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Chicago Mike. Oh, damn it. I got to stop. I got to wait for it to actually load before I start my thing. Sometimes it works out, and then other times I got to kill time. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Says, thanks, Monkey and Jack. You were very welcome. And seriously, I hope Joyce has a wonderful birthday. Treat her well, my friend.
Absolutely.
I think Vouch is a creepy dude. He's a pedophile. Of course he's a creepy dude.
Yeah, he's super creepy. And apparently that whole segment where he accused the extremist dad of being a pedo.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm surprised nobody has sued this clown.
It is disturbing what they did to that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and the lady that rented the little moped thing, he was one of the vocal people that made her look bad.
Mhm.
Seriously, there's probably a long list of people that he's lied about. Him and Hassan both probably should have pretty good lawyers on retainer.
Hassan today decided he was going to take a shot at Destiny. Destiny had an argument in the Israeli-Palestinian thing. And I haven't watched the whole thing. I've only seen the clips on Twitter. The guy he's arguing with is not actually arguing any points. Destiny's trying to argue points, and this guy is literally just yelling, "I've read lots of books." And apparently that was an own of Destiny.
Yeah. I saw that clip. It had some funny comments that are clip worthy for a soundboard, but
Well,
I didn't care about the guy was just being a dick. It wasn't an own.
it plays very well as a soundbite.
Yeah.
But as far as substance, there's literally nothing there. And again, I haven't watched it, so I don't know how well Destiny did. I don't know how well the other guy did. But in that particular clip, it's just nonsense. The Finkelstein thing, yes, the Finkelstein.
If we're going by haircuts, though, Destiny lost because he looks like a 70s kid that needs a haircut real bad.
Yeah, ever since his wife left, he's just stopped brushing his hair.
Yeah, it's really weird looking. He looks like the ugly kid with the lisp on Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
With that 70s thing going, and you're like, dude, you need to trim that shit. Real fast though, thank you, Chicago Mike, for the generous donation. Says, thanks, Jack. No, thank you, Chicago Mike.
But Hassan came out and said, it's shocking that Destiny got owned by one of the most well-read academics on the issues of Palestine so hard his own debate partner started laughing at him. So, again, I haven't seen it, but in the clips that are going around, he's not laughing at him. But it was just funny to me that Hassan, who won't even talk to Destiny because Destiny made him look like an idiot.
Well,
for him to be coming out and going, look at this idiot get owned. All right, I guess. The left on the left debate bros, the left online political pundits are really stupid.
Yeah, well, their arguments are incredibly lazy. It's all, if you're lucky, you get a Wikipedia citation. Otherwise, it's like, huh, you're a clown.
I saw a clip today of Hassan on stage with Charlie Kirk, guest debating. Cenk said something from the audience, and Kirk charged him. Like, ran at him?
Oh. I thought he was like, that'll be $50. Let me charge you your credit card, horse jerker.
What wins, giant head or giant belly?
I don't know. It depends on the terrain. Did he have the high ground? Because giant head will win on the high ground.
I guess so.
Just drop that thing like a mallet.
In my opinion, Destiny is the only online left-leaning political commentator who isn't a scumbag. Destiny has issues. I haven't watched him in a while, Jack. If I am watching Lefty debate, I do tend to turn to him because I know a lot of people still see him as he used to be, but he is more intelligent than he used to be.
Yeah, look, he's still kind of a douchebag, but he's a lot less disingenuous than everyone else.
He's a more honest liar.
Yeah, he's more honest, even if he'll still defend stupid positions that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
But at least he is a little bit more open to talking to people he disagrees with, too, instead of just name calling like he used to.
And you can tell when Destiny is defending stuff even he knows he can't defend, because it is when he goes to that stuff.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he is he does very good with facts and figures and stuff.
He has improved greatly, but
yes,
every now and then he slips back into the old ways.
Yep.
But I don't watch most of those people because they're fucking annoying.
Speaking of fucking annoying.
Had you seen this before I sent it to you?
I had not.
My
This
nightmares must become your nightmares.
we're just going to call this person contradiction. Kingslayer, thank you. Destiny was making Morris laugh because he was clowning on Finkelstein 90% of the time. It was kind of funny. Lefties are cope spiraling. Yeah, isn't it like a 3-hour debate? I don't know that I care to watch that much of it.
Nope.
I may tune in and at least see part of it because I am interested to see the fact that people like Hassan are pushing out those clips and signal boosting them tells me that, yeah, Destiny probably did very well in this. Because otherwise you would show him getting owned on the facts and not this guy going, I've read more books than you. Anyhow, the great value Dylan Mulvaney. No, this is the Aldi's brand. All right, here we go.
That's German.
Assalamu alaikum. I've gained about 4,000 followers in the last 2 days, and so I felt I should reintroduce myself to everybody who's just joining me in my spiritual journey.
Well, then you wouldn't be reintroducing yourself to them. You'd just be introducing yourself to them. People say words sometimes that they think sound smart, and it actually makes them look stupid.
Yeah.
You don't need the re there. I will introduce myself to the people who don't know me.
I'm a gender fluid trans woman.
That's a contradiction. That is a contradiction right there. You just started off with, I'm a gender fluid trans woman. What? That's like being a non-binary trans woman.
I know. I figured out who this person looks like, though. Do you know who David Rash is? Or Rash?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. He was in a show back in the 80s called Sledgehammer. Here, I'll bring a picture up.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but it looks like it, like the crazy eyes. Like the show was, it was funny for the time. It's very dated now, but like he'd shoot things randomly because it was a playoff of like the satire of the like Clint Eastwood type movies.
Yeah, this is the guy we're talking about, guys. Yeah,
that's him as an old man. Yeah.
Well, I mean, pretty accurate to what we're looking at on the other screen there.
Right.
But anyway, so our non-binary woman here, she's going to tell us about herself. Is it me, or does this look like one of those things where they cut out the head and the head just floats there and it looks weird?
No, I'm with Dangerous. If you say its name 3 times in the mirror, it appears like Bloody Mary. Except Bloody Mary was not supposed to be this terrifying.
No, because this one pops out and touches your kid. Anyway.
Yeah. Looks like Jake Busey became a cult leader.
Yeah, there's definite Gary Busey vibes in here as well. I mean, there's an ugly woman, with a penis. Just saying.
And I'm a Christian who has studied Hinduism for over 10 years and is now currently studying and practicing Islam.
I'm sorry, you're a Christian who is practicing Islam. What?
Why don't you just say I'm a practicing Muslim? That would be a little bit more of a logical sentence.
Why don't you just say, I desperately need attention. Please, 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 somebody pay attention to me.
All the things. The things.
A Christian who practices Islam. Really?
Please look at me.
What does Islam say about Jesus? Islam says that Jesus was a prophet, not the Son of God.
Yes.
So you can't be a Christian who practices believing that Jesus isn't the Son of God.
You shut up.
Christian literally comes from Christ. Anyhow.
But I remain a Christian.
It hurts even more the second time.
I'm sure that's what the kids say.
No doubt.
And throughout my journey, I'm sure to remain a gender fluid trans woman.
You're a dude.
Looks like a lady.
And
Kind of.
one who looks like this.
Like a man?
So I realized that for some people, hearing about transgender issues, hearing about my gender fluidity, hearing about the intersection of my being transgender and my relationship with God, if these are things that do not interest you, I welcome you to unfollow me.
Like, I need your permission for that.
All I'm here for is affirmation.
Yeah, if you're not going to celebrate how awesome I am, you go away. I give you my permission. You're dismissed.
He starts out by saying, I'm sure some of you out there are hearing about this. And then he goes into, if you don't like it, you can go away. Think about what you say before you say it. Trust me, as somebody who speaks for a living off the cuff, that can be hard to do. I get it. But this is a recorded video. You could have cut out that asininity right there. Yes, I'm video editing for them right now.
No hard feelings. And if that is something that you're interested in, please be welcome. I have known that I was a trans girl since I was 3 years old. I put it into words for the first time around 5. As a teenager, I identified as a transvestite and more exclusively women's clothing.
You are a transvestite. I'll give you that one. You're a transvestite. You're a man who likes to dress up as women.
Yeah. It used to just be a fetish.
Yeah, it is a fetish.
Talking about back in 1996, there was no awareness of transgender people.
What? Oh, because we called them transsexuals because that's what they are?
Oh.
Transsexuals have been around for a while, Jack. If you ask the transgender folks, they've existed since, the slave trade, at least.
Yeah, they were the primary targets of the Holocaust. Have you been hearing that one going around?
Yes. Damn trans Jews.
There was no one grooming me to be transgender. I didn't know what a trans person was.
Will you talk for just a moment?
Sure. This person's dumb. Oh, that moment passed quickly. What's up, chat? Staying sexy. Jesus Christ, you're stupid. That pretty much nails it, Eagle. Yeah, dude in a dress, makeup. Yeah, long-haired dude. Yeah, lots of people used to have long hair. I mean, look at the lead singer of Twisted Sister, Dee Snider, with all that makeup on. Sad. Yeah, Monk, I'm with you on that. I can't repeat that, but yeah. Lots of things going on with this visual. Also, learn to do your eyelashes. They look ridiculous with these big fake ones on. That should be the first step in your journey here, is learn to properly do your makeup. A Christian, Muslim, Hindu, right? Well, it's a Christian who studied Hinduism and is now playing the part of a Muslim. There's a lot of playing pretend going on here that I am disturbed by. Yeah, lots of people have long hair. Doesn't mean anything. Just this person probably has split ends. Groomed, probably not, but what about abused? More likely. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for this person. They're so desperate for attention. How many Hindus were slaughtered by Muslims? That would be a secret the Pakistanis are not willing to share. Probably extensions. That's a possibility, but I think that's actually this person's hair. But still, you look ridiculous. Also, where's your hijab? You have the terrorist scarf on of the PLO, but don't worry, Retro. I'm not making eye contact with creatures like this. I've seen too many movies.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right. So we have our thing here.
I just knew that I was a girl in this body and had no language for it.
How did you know? See this? I've told you guys about this for so long. So many of these people, ever since I can remember, I knew this. Nonsense. Nonsense. It is a trick of the human memory to just think that. I've used this example before, Jack. It's hard for me to think back on my life and there not be a time my wife was there, even though I know there's times she wasn't there. Because then she's a major part of my life now. And it's like that. The human brain does that. But this may no, I always knew that I was one of those intelligent 3-year-olds.
Some people are just better than you.
Here's the thing. Most people can't remember even being 3 years old. Your long-term memory starts around 5, Jack. I knew it.
You don't know me.
I just didn't have the language until I was 5. You didn't know the word girl when you were 3?
Most people don't have any real sexual feelings until they're hitting puberty, and that's the normal way of that, unless you were precocious puberty, which usually means you were diddled.
The idea that you don't know that is, I hear you, but we understand the difference between boys and girls very, very early on, especially if you have siblings, parents, eyes.
Yeah, well, there's that. Also, most little kids understand that boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
Yeah, kindergarten cop taught us that.
Yeah.
Truly, it was as an adult finding out about gender fluid people who fluctuate between genders that I realized the language that fully described my experience best.
You said that when you were a teen, you were a transvestite and dressed up as girls all the time, is what you said. You were always dressed as a woman. Where's the fluid part come in? I mean, other than what you're shooting at children as they walk by on the street.
Throwing rope.
It's this whole thing is just a contradiction. I'm a Christian, Muslim, gender fluid chick with a penis.
And non-binary or gender fluid. No, I am all the things. So if you insult me, you're some sort of istophobe, bigot.
However, as a Christian who is now studying Islam, I realize that my being a trans woman and gender fluid is going to be uncomfortable to some people.
And some gods. One in particular named Allah.
Yeah, he's going to have a bit of an issue with you. You silly weirdo.
However, to those who welcome and accept me in my journey, I welcome and accept guidance. Even
I gave them guidance. I don't think they're going to listen. Because my guidance was just stop it. You're looking for attention. Just stop it.
Well, they're getting the attention. I mean, we're talking about this clown, and they picked up 4,000 new viewers or whatever.
You miss Laura Loomer on Fresh and Fit. No.
I would not say I missed Laura Loomer on Fresh and Fit, but that is a trio of stupid that I'm not willing to subject myself to. Monkey, however, is going to be all about that.
That's like a tritard, man.
I know. That's too much tard in one room.
I'll have to watch because Loomer, look, leaving Fresh and Fit aside, Laura Loomer is a fucking lunatic. The bitch is crazy. And I'm pretty sure has a penis.
Her and Michelle Obama sword fight.
With girls as well, so decatard. Oh my God. It wasn't just her, there was other. Oh God. Hey, understatement. Can you toss me a link to that over on Twitter? Because yeah, I will watch that.
That's
what?
Dude, I don't know. That just sounds like it's gonna be so painfully dumb.
Yep. But sometimes that's part of the job. Here we go.
In criticism to help me on my way to Allah. That I truly don't know what is appropriate as a gender fluid person.
You knew you were a girl at 3, but as a grown ass man, by your own telling, in your mid to late 40s, you don't know what's proper as a gender fluid person. Didn't you say that it just resonated with suddenly you knew what you were? Didn't all the doors open and the birds sang and the sun shine through?
Yeah, well, I mean, they was singing Zippity Doo Dah.
Why are we watching Jeremy Irons wearing makeup?
Jeremy Irons is a much more handsome man than this individual.
True. I get the resemblance that they're talking about, but yeah.
Yeah.
What
Be nice to Jeremy. He's a good actor.
customs of men and what customs of women I should be honoring. Should I be covering my head when I pray? I do.
Your lifestyle doesn't mesh with the religion at all, you fucking weirdo. It meshes less with Islam than it does with Judaism or Christianity. What the fuck are you talking about?
Should I be covering my head when I read scripture? I have.
I suggest covering your head at all times with a shopping bag. And for the record, get a paper one because you're dumb enough that you probably have to be told not to put plastic over your head.
Yeah. Also, are women allowed to learn to read?
It depends on which area Islam is being practiced.
Oh.
So
So
ever since that.
are they actually in a Muslim country, or is this a hide in the safety of America while playing dress up kind of thing?
This is an American or a Canadian by the accent.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't know where they are.
Oh, they sure as fuck didn't go to some Muslim country.
Okay.
Ain't nobody looking like this going to no Muslim country.
Oh, it's just sad.
They'll talk a good game on social media.
I was instructed to. Truly, instruction is just guidance and an opportunity for obedience, which is what I'm looking for.
You have a fetish, dude. You need to get in, just give up all this nonsense and get into the BDSM that you want to be in. You're a masochist.
However,
go ahead.
An attention-seeking masochist.
Yes.
In my being a transgender fluid woman, obedience means being honest about that.
If you were being honest, you'd stop using the word woman.
Not trying to hide it or lie about it or pretend I'm anything else.
Oh, sweet, sweet irony.
Yeah, there's so many lies in your life.
I just have to be honest and not hide or lie about what I am. Really?
This is the person who Allah has made.
Well, I thought you were an undercover Christian.
Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I love the pained look right there.
Yeah.
This is where I've learned to act. I should give something Allah. I can't say that one. I can barely say Assalamu alaikum.
And if this is a journey that you're interested in learning more about, I welcome you to give me a follow or stay along with me in my journey.
Can I see the contents of your hard drive?
I don't think you want to.
I want the police to see it.
And to anybody who has any questions about how and why I could be a Christian who studies and practices Hinduism and how I could now be studying Islam.
No, nobody has a question about studying. It's the practicing part that you keep slipping in there.
Yeah.
How you can intersectional religion, Jack.
It's just dumb and lazy. You can study a religion without being a practitioner. There's lots of people that do that. I had an atheist professor in college that taught religious studies.
Sure.
That doesn't make him a practitioner of those things.
Yeah, if this person said, I'm a Christian who is studying Islam, yeah, that makes sense. I'm a Christian who is studying and practicing Islam, does not.
No, those things are not very compatible.
Thank you, Travis Gardner. Self-inflicted humiliation fetish. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's what they're trying to do with intersectionality here does not work with religion. Now, you can look at like the Old Testament and the Abrahamic religions all form there, but they split off with the Jews not believing that the Messiah has come, the Christians believing that Jesus was the Messiah, the Muslims who believe that Jesus was a prophet but not the Messiah, and they all have that same original thing, but they've switched off in so many different ways that they're not compatible with each other.
Yeah, Christianity mostly, especially the Christianity compared to Judaism, preaches more peace and
Yes.
forgiveness and redemption, because that was the message that Christ set. He said he was here to reform the old belief structure and make it more peaceful and forgiving, and that really contradicts with the Muslim holy book in a lot of ways.
The idea that you can be practicing these other religions while being a practicing Christian, or being a practicing Muslim who is a practicing Christian, they don't go together. But I know what I feel. You can feel whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't make it reality. You know, kind of like you claiming to be a woman.
And how I could be doing all of that while being a gender fluid trans woman? Please feel free to ask your questions. I'm happy to answer respectful and well-intentioned questions.
Yeah, why are you a creepy infiltrating infidel? That's what they're gonna ask you.
Because I believe that it's an important part of my journey and of what the world needs to develop in right now. That there are trans people who don't want me to be religious, and there are religious people who don't want me to be trans, but I am both.
You can be religious and trans, Jack, but it does go against the teachings.
Yeah, lots of sinners go to church.
There's Christians and Jews who eat, pork, and Muslims. They all claim they don't. I see you. I see you get that bacon double cheeseburger. Stop it.
Yeah, especially in America. Come on, we've seen you. Thank you, Travis Gardner. Got the Chris Chan hair grease. True.
I believe I can fly. Well, in that case, Mike, if they did go to a Muslim country, they could. It's the landing that they always fuck up.
Jordan makes the point. This may actually be a hedge to get into heaven. Like, somebody's God will take me.
I hear you. The problem is most of them require strict adherence to their own God. So having other gods is a no-no.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's some like lesser religion that isn't practiced anymore that their God will take you. It's just like, I take what I get at this point.
I'm a Wiccan. I can't watch it anymore, this idiot.
Oh, Wiccan will be next year. When this one's petered out a little bit, they'll switch to I'm a druid.
Oh, shit. Those are not as easy to read as I was hoping they would be. We'll just talk about the Fannie Willis case. There was a ruling this morning. I saw it before I went to bed this morning, Jack. The judge in the Fannie Willis case, where they're asking whether she should be kicked off the case or not, her and Nathan Wade, came out and said, while there's some, I'm paraphrasing, while there's some definite issues here, there's no reason to believe that Fannie completely made up the fact she got no receipts for giving money to a man for whisking her around the country. And while there's definite improprieties here, Fannie only has to leave the case if she doesn't fire Nathan Wade.
Yeah, and he resigned immediately.
If there's an issue, it's been ongoing. How does it suddenly not become an issue when it's all part of that poison tree, Jack?
Oh, that's easy. It's an election year. The judge is up for re-election, and according to the guy on Fox News, he also donated to Fani Willis's campaign.
No, the guy I used to
I
work
know.
for? Shocking.
Yeah, we're all shocked by that. So of course there was a way to, well, look, I need to get reelected, and I can't tank that Trump is a bad man case. So just fire that dude. You'll be good. It's the appearance of impropriety that this is a grounds for appeal if Trump loses.
Absolutely.
One of many.
When the judge himself is coming out and saying this is a problem, because if it wasn't a problem, there's no reason to fire him.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a problem here, but we're going to pretend there's not. The thing is, the case doesn't end if Fani Willis is thrown off of it. Just somebody else in her office would have to handle everything. That's a big misunderstanding around this. Willis getting thrown off the case wouldn't have necessarily ended the case. It'd just be passed on to another prosecutor.
Yeah.
So for the judge to do this, I mean, this just tells you that this is all political because she needs her name on this case. This is her shot to the big time, Jack. If she can be the one that took down Trump, she can be governor easily.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
At
yeah.
minimum, state attorney general.
This is her stepping stone to the vice presidency. You said, never mind. All right, moving right along. Okay, we didn't watch the video of the guy getting arrested yesterday. Which, by the way, is how that video we just watched of the weirdo. They're one of the people who put out the video of the Ricky Berwick looking guy who was a pedophile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's how they got their 4,000 new followers. There's not really much to talk about with the video itself. I'm just putting this guy on the screen, and this is not in any way edited. This is what the guy looks like. When I call him a Ricky Berwick motherfucker, he's got Ricky's body. That's no shame to Ricky at all.
No, Rick, you'd be the first one to make fun of this.
But this guy's a pedophile who was caught with a child in his home. And the police went and arrested him, and it's all on tape. And they had a problem because they couldn't figure out how to arrest him and get his chair there too.
Yeah.
He's a pedophile. I don't care about his chair. Throw him in the fucking trunk for all I care. Dog for fucking real. Yes, for real. But it gets worse because this guy is not only a literally disabled pedophile. He was a muckety muck over there at Pinterest, Jack.
Yeah, indeed. Which I would not have guessed that at all.
I wouldn't have guessed that he worked in some kind of capacity at a major social media company at all. No, yes. Yeah, so that's the update on this guy.
I thought he would be a teacher.
He's gonna have a lot of fun in prison.
Oh my God. Yeah. That dude's smart. He's gonna make it part of his plea deal that he gets put in protective custody.
Do I want to watch this? Yes, I do. Yes,
Probably.
I do. We'll get in trouble from HBO, but they'll release it. They typically do. Eric Holder was on with Bill Maher tonight, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
You know Eric Holder, the guy who defied Congress and got away with it?
Yeah.
As he was hiding the fact that he sold guns to drug cartels that got Americans killed, and that was actually the point of doing it.
Yeah. Look, Monkey, the rules don't apply the same to government officials and their friends and family because they're better people than you are. So some animals are more equal than others.
Frosted Glass, thank you. Chris Hansen, why don't you have a seat? Oh, yeah. Right. Why don't you have a drool bib?
Did you see Madonna do that on stage?
No.
Yeah, she said, "Why aren't you standing?" And it was a person in a wheelchair because everybody was jumping up and down for a song.
Our president asked a guy in a wheelchair to stand up.
Yeah. Well, he also tried to find a dead person in the crowd,
Yes, he did.
and he had to get directions from the Easter Bunny. Did you see the two? I felt really bad for them. I guess they were Secret Service. There were two black people holding umbrellas, and I kept making Klan jokes to my dad. He got really annoyed by it after a while. And then they're trying to lead him off stage, and one of them smacks him in the face with this umbrella.
Oh no, I missed that.
It was totally by accident. It's right at the end of the clip because Biden's like, "Oh, umbrella."
Thank you, Travis Gardner says. Well, at least he isn't a flight risk. Just pull his battery. They can really pass him around in prison. Yeah, they can literally just pick his ass up. Okay, let's get on to Bill Maher talking to Eric Holder.
The fact that the Democrats, by every poll I read, are, I would just say, losing their base. I mean, if you look at non-white working class voters, there's been a 61-point shift. That's an incredible amount from 2012. That's in 12.
Yeah, that is very important that he says non-white voters. Because what we're talking about here is minorities looking at the Democrats finally and going, maybe these guys aren't the best people.
Right?
Maybe these racist shitbags really are still racist shitbags from way back when. Maybe there's a reason they wear all white to the State of the Union. But 61-point shift, Jack. And he breaks down what that shift is. It's not necessarily that the Republicans are now controlling that demographic. It's not, but it is a massive shift in what has happened.
12 years. Obama in 2012, when you were the Attorney General, I think won it by 67 points, that demographic. Biden won it by 48. Now he's only up by 6. What's going on there?
Yeah, see, the Democrats are still leading there, Jack, but it's actually within or really close to the margin of error in such polls. It's only like 3 points off the margin of error for those polls. And you have a whole bunch of people, and this is the reason we're going to watch it. You have a whole bunch of people pretending this isn't really happening.
Well, I think first off, you're measuring March against November. We're looking at what.
Why does he sound Canadian?
He's got a weird, like, puppet voice.
I'm reminded of Beverly Hills Cop. Got to put some bass in your voice. You've been hanging around the white guy too long. Does he live in Canada? Is that why he sounds like this?
Maybe.
I'm waiting for him to bust out a eh. Sorry, I got to back it up because the point I want to make is actually related to this. His voice just drove me nuts.
Well, I think first off, you're measuring March against November. We're looking at where people are right now. I think you'll probably see a movement with regard to working class people of all races towards Biden by the time you get to November.
He's not wrong.
No, we'll lie to them enough in our overwhelming amount of ads that they'll believe whatever we tell them. That's what he's
you're
saying.
also comparing an unbelievably popular African American running for the first time and who really galvanized people, in all strata of life. And so I think in some ways that's not a fair comparison. But I think
he also used the Biden one though, from just 4 years ago. And Biden didn't galvanize a group. He wasn't the first black president. And there's still a massive switch from that. Even if you're only going by that, it's still like a 35-point switch.
I'm bringing them together. I'm a hero.
we should not be too alarmed by these March polls. We've got to take them into consideration. But March is a fundamentally different month than October and November. And we'll see where these things turn out when we get to that part of the calendar year.
And he's not wrong. And it's what we've seen with the press. They've already started this, trying to convince you that all of the problems with Biden are actually because of the Republicans. That really shitty bill that they tried pushing, for border protection, that was actually a money laundering thing for the Ukrainians again. If the Republicans would have just done that, then all of the people, the 6 million people who've crossed that we know of since Joe Biden took office, that wouldn't even be a thing anymore. Donald Trump is the one who's actually got dementia.
Okay, but
I mean, the deal is there's work to be done, but I'm actually optimistic that if we stay committed, focused, and as the media turns its attention to making this a binary choice,
And that's the important part right there. As the media turns its attention, they've already started doing that. And we've seen this. I mean, they've covered for Biden all along, but they are in cover for Biden during an election year mode now. And we're just going to keep seeing this for the next, 9 months. 9 months of them just going, no, Biden's actually not retarded.
Yeah.
When he says, that's just a stutter.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got a broken record he imitates sometimes. It's okay.
When he shakes hands with people who aren't there, that's perfectly normal. I do it all the time.
He's the ghost whisperer president.
He's got special powers. That's the thing, Jack. He's actually superhuman and he can talk to ghosts.
Yes. He's like Jennifer Love Hewitt. He's the ghost whisperer.
Between a person who's got some age and cognitive issues, that would be Trump.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Sure, buddy. Sure.
The guy who's actually older and can't get through a sentence without going. He's the smart one. He's the cognitive one.
And hasn't Biden had like 3 strokes?
Not strokes, aneurysms. Yes,
aneurysms. Yeah, my bad. That won't affect his longevity at all.
Take care, Fugi. Have a good one, man.
Later, Fugi. Glad you're back on Twitter.
Yes, me too.
Against somebody who is actually, against somebody who has actually accomplished a lot, I think we'll do just fine.
And what the crowd is clapping over there, he says, against somebody who's accomplished a lot. You
mean like starting all these wars that nobody wanted?
Biden did get some of his agenda pushed through, and there's no taking that away from him. The question is whether or not those things were good. Things like the CHIPS Act, where it's money supposedly to build infrastructure in this country for microchip processing that could be spent in China.
Yeah, it gives lots of latitude for the Chinese industries that are supposed to be being knocked down by this.
Oh, shit, dude. Will you grab me the story just real quick? Will you grab the story about Tyson chicken or Tyson? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I got you.
I meant to retweet that one and I didn't, apparently, because I already went through my Twitter for the show. And that's what I want to make sure we talk about.
All right.
And what you said in the monologue was really good, though. I mean, Trump's popularity rating is higher now than it ever was during his presidency. It's like, hey, America, remember? People they're saying, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? You damn right we are.
Well, 4 years ago would be the pandemic.
But I remember gas being cheaper and my taxes weren't as high.
Let's do 5 years ago.
No, we can't do that.
So, let's not lose sight of the chaos, the corruption, and all the negative things that Donald Trump meant, and put a good man back in the White House.
What about all the wars that Trump didn't start?
It's just more of the same, and we're going to see a lot of this. And I'm going to go watch the rest of this because this is just a clip that was up on Twitter. But I'm very curious to see if Bill pushes back on that point.
Yeah, I doubt he will because he's a fucking idiot.
When it comes, he is very concerned, and he doesn't think that the Democrats are paying attention. He's very concerned about Biden in this election because he does want Trump to lose. And he doesn't think Biden can do it. So I'm very curious if he pushes back from that angle. Because he's convinced that the left is lying to themselves, especially the people like Holder, the elites.
Yeah.
That they're lying to themselves about Biden's chances here. So again, you don't have to agree with Maher, but for the wrong reasons, he's pushing back with the right points sometimes, if that makes sense.
Well, and honestly, if he's right, and he probably is, that a lot of these elitists are too close to the situation and they need to push back more or pay attention better rather, then when Trump wins, they are going to have the craziest meltdown ever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think that
Mar sees the writing on the wall, and they are all staring right at the wall with their eyes closed.
yeah. They're looking at the graffiti on the wall that is all pro them. But the insanity that is going to happen, because all these celebrities and politicians are saying how Trump's going to lose, he's got dementia. If he wins, they're going to get violent.
Just look at what he asked about, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? 4 years ago, even during the pandemic, Jack, we didn't have the inflation. This is the economy, stupid. They knew the economy was key in 2020, but for some reason they've absolutely forgotten that, or they're trying to lie to people. Like, who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes?
Yeah.
Inflation is going down. No, the increase in inflation has gone down. The inflation never went away, though. There was no deflation from it. So people are still paying way more than they used to. So when you go out there and tell them, hey, the economy's great, they can see their fucking paycheck. They can see their grocery bill, and they don't add up the way they used to.
Yeah.
And so you're going to see a massive push. And again, it's already started, of them trying to convince you that reality is not real.
Well,
that $300 you just paid for $100 worth of groceries 4 years ago, you didn't really just do that.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed your grocery bill going up, I don't know what to tell you. You have not been paying attention. It has gone up ridiculous amounts.
Lady Monkey keeps laughing at me because when I do go to the store with her, we typically buy the same things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go to pick something up and be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Looking at the price of it. And she's like, yes, it's been that way for a while, honey. I understand that, but when you see it yourself, when you pay attention to it, it's like, God damn. So he's not wrong here about March and October being different, which, by the way, just that on his face is funny. No shit. They're literally named different things. But what he is talking about here is media propaganda over the next 6 to 7 months.
Yeah.
And he's right about that. It will work on a lot of people.
Sadly. But yeah, I'm waiting to see how many people are murdered by illegal immigrants, or how bad things will get in New York City with the crime.
We just had that case that popped off today, a twice deported illegal who was touching a 6-year-old.
Yep. There was the Haitian guy that raped a 15-year-old disabled girl.
Mm-hmm.
The more that stuff makes the news, the angrier people are going to get.
But the thing is, the mainstream news isn't covering it. They're trying to hide all of that.
Oh,
we're back to the arguments of, actually, illegals commit the least amount of crimes. Okay, let's say that's true. Just for argument's sake, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't be here anyway. So the ones who are committing crimes, that crime wouldn't have been committed in America if they weren't here. I don't care how few that they do. They're doing them. Americans are getting killed. Children are getting raped. And it shouldn't have happened.
But it's the rape that Americans won't do.
Yes. We don't have enough murderers and pedophiles in the country. We got to import them from south of the border. Although sometimes south of the border is actually east or west of the border, but they go through the southern entrance.
It's true.
The whole point that they're trying to make with that stupid argument, hey, they're not that criminal. One, every illegal is a criminal. Every one of them. It's what the word illegal means.
What?
Every goddamn one of them should not be here. They're criminals, and get them the fuck out.
No, they're just newcomers, Monkey. You don't understand, you bigot.
That the Obama administration had to put in place. Actually, we're going to prioritize kicking out the ones who do horrible crimes is a sad state of affairs. We should just prioritize kicking them all out. And then if they're not here, you don't have to worry about them being even more criminal. Speaking of incentives for these illegals to come over, Jack, nice segue. I wasn't even planning that when I asked you to grab the story. Tyson Foods boycotted as it sacks 1,300 staff at Iowa pork plant and offers jobs and lawyer package in bid to hire 42,000 asylum seekers in New York.
Yep. This is exactly what I was talking about for the past year. They're going to find a way to undercut legal workers here in order to give illegal workers a bunch of free shit because they don't have to pay them as much.
And for the record, what this says, as they hire 42,000 asylum seekers in New York, those are not for jobs in New York. They're hiring them from New York and then shipping them around the country. And one of the instances down to a plant in Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're closing down these plants. They've closed down like 4 or 5 of them and using illegals elsewhere.
Yeah. And you know what? You know who's not seeming to complain about this? The unions.
Yeah, unions don't give a shit.
No, they're going to get their union dues. If anything, they're going to love this. Real fast.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. 3 illegals kidnapped a woman and raped her in Florida. Only in the local news. I found it by accident. Oh, yeah. This is all going to be local news stuff, air quotes, because when they do report on it, it's just a local story. That's not of national interest.
Yeah, when you see those kind of things, guys, tweet them out.
Yeah.
Send them out on Facebook. Make that shit everywhere. Because none of these crimes should be happening. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
No, this problem is coming to a town near you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a local issue. They're just making it out that way, but it's going to happen more and more because they're shipping these people all over the fucking country, and it's going to be a massive problem for everybody.
Tyson Food is closing plants in Iowa, Virginia, Arkansas, Indiana, and Missouri. Company says it wants to double its immigrant hires to 84,000 this year. More than 1.2 million U.S.-born workers lose their jobs to foreign-born staff.
Yep.
Yeah. They're literally took our jobs.
Yeah. And this is what everybody was afraid of. These are low-skilled jobs, largely, let's be honest. And they're getting handed over to people that just got here through illicit means. And tough luck to you, buddy.
The simple fact of the matter is the Refugees Act that allows all of this to happen. Because somebody said that somebody quoted AOC saying asylum seekers aren't illegals. Yes, they are. We have very strict rules written into law, not the plans like DACA that aren't actually law. We have very strict laws that say you have to come from a country that is under a massive problem, whether it's a horrible dictator, there's war there, something like that, to qualify as a refugee. You can also be an individual from a place where you're just specifically targeted, even though the rest of life is fine.
Yeah.
And that's it. And these people are just coming up here. They admit openly that they're here for work. What do they tell us? They're just looking for a better life.
No,
it's
they're
so
here for
poor.
free shit. Some of them are here for economic reasons, like working.
Most of them. Well, even if you're talking about the free shit, that's an economic reason. Right? I mean, if you're getting welfare and not actually working, that's still economic.
I was gonna say the others are here for the raping.
But
because they get to do a lot of that for free without consequence, apparently.
Well, I mean, that chick who got killed, Lake and Riley. I mean, that we're almost positive now that that's gang related because we've moved Venezuelan gangs into our country.
Yeah,
they literally are coming here
to
commit. I was just saying they're literally coming here to commit crime.
Yeah, they're connected to a Venezuelan gang that everybody knew was coming here. They're deporting their criminals here on purpose because it frees up their jails.
Costs them a lot less, and they don't have to deal with that problem. Importing gangs and oil from Venezuela. We're Donald Trump got in trouble for calling MS-13 animals.
Yeah, they have the spark of divinity, according to Nancy Pelosi.
They are a violent street gang who literally behead their enemies. They're like, how dare you call them animals?
Coming to
You're
a neighborhood near you.
You're just a racist. Did you call her Lincoln? If I did, I didn't mean to. It's Lakin. This is just nonsensical. I can't believe that anybody is on the side of this, but this is what political tribalism does.
Yes, and as far as I'm concerned, these people are aiding and abetting criminal activity.
They are.
So they should be charged accordingly.
But we have laws that allow them to work while they're seeking asylum.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That is how this is being done, is that there's a program that once you're waiting for your asylum case, you can go work for a little bit. Can't understand why. I've said this all along. You want to stop illegals? Put massive penalties, and I do mean massive penalties, on companies that are caught hiring illegals. It will end it tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. You go after people and treat them like the aiders that they are, because this is disgusting. American citizens are losing jobs to criminals that wandered over the fucking Rio Grande. No, that's unacceptable. Tyson Foods is rightly being shamed pretty heavily, but they don't give a shit because of all the money they're going to save.
Oh, yeah. They're hiring these guys reportedly at $16.50 an hour, more than double minimum wage.
Yeah, and that's probably vastly undercutting what the other people were making.
Probably. You can go down and do it cheaper with labor that you don't have to worry about, because they gotta be careful so they don't get kicked out of the country, right? Except for we don't do that either.
Yeah, I wonder how many criminals are going to end up being exposed working at Tyson plant. We'll probably never hear about it, but
the weird thing to me is that we could stop this almost instantaneously. It would all have to be under the table to hire these people, but we made it so it's legal to do it.
Yep.
Because when you go to work, you have to fill out a W-2 form, or a W-4, whichever one it is. I always get them confused. Saying that you're a United States citizen, or that you have a work permit to work in the United States.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see how many people complain that they lost their job to an illegal and they're shocked by it.
Well, you got to look at modern Democrats, Jack. These are people who get their car stolen. Like, oh, I can't call the police. A black man might go to jail.
Yeah, altruism's great until you're starving.
Like, yeah, this sucks for me, but at least I'm not part of the problem. That illegal now has money.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think some regular line worker types are going to have an issue with this one because they can't feed their families or pay their mortgage.
Some will, and some will take the nonsense because that's what they've been programmed to do.
That's fucking disgusting. Nobody should be tolerating this shit. Real quick though, thank you, Evolved Potato. They talk about that without the illegals who would pick the fruit, but the vast majority of non-Americans that pick fruit come into the U.S. on work visas and go home after the picking season. Yeah, seasonal migration's been a big thing. A lot of it's been replaced with automation, but that's the hill they're willing to die on because fuck Americans is basically the message you're getting here. Is they're gonna hire the cheap labor and they're gonna stick you the middle finger while they're doing it.
Yeah. Canada's telling people to just leave their car keys out for the criminals. Yeah.
Yeah. Just put it by your front door because you don't want them breaking windows.
I mean, we just had that fucking special victims unit thing again, where a black man rapes a girl, and she's like, I can't go tell you guys what happened. Nah, we got to let him go because he's a black man, and the system.
Oh, it'll be a digital lynching. Oh.
That is not just towards the whole BLM thing. Imagine that same scenario, but with an illegal. Donald Trump's coming back into office and he's a xenophobe. And if I tell the world that this guy raped me, he might get kicked out of the country. I mean, they're being literally programmed to think that you have to put up with being a victim to be the right kind of person.
Yep.
To be a good person, you have to let other people literally fucking rape you.
Yeah, you're just a bad person. I mean, how dare you deny them the pleasure they seek because they are sainted illegals? You're just a filthy American, you capitalist scum.
It's for the greater good.
Indeed.
But that's where we are. And yeah, you have American companies who are hiring illegals and firing Americans.
Yep. Good job. Good luck getting a decent job in any kind of factory setting now. It's not going to happen.
Yep. And with that, we're going to wrap up this show. We're about 10 minutes short, but yeah, we're wrapping up here. I want to try to get some sleep so I'm awake for festivities tomorrow, Jack.
Oh, yeah. I
So,
want to be awake for all the brownies.
It's a brownie, man.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I'd be awake for brownies, too.
See? Told you. There's a lot of time where you can give me shit for stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's fair. But it's brownies. Your fat ass knows how much you like brownies. Stop it.
Brownies are delicious.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so very much for the donations. You guys are so kind to us. We really do appreciate it. Jack, anything you'd like to shill?
No, I can't get anything done. I'm fucking tired all the time. So, maybe I'll have something up tomorrow. But until then, thank you guys for the donations and all the support you give us is greatly appreciated.
People are stealing cars because they are expensive and they need to drive to get groceries.
Yeah, they got to get the bread.
Pyrus is just quoting what somebody that apparently Actual Justice Warrior's been mocking. Yeah, it is the AOC line of they're only stealing because they need bread. Are they trading that TV for it?
No, it's full of bread. You watch it and then you see bread on it.
Well, we saw during that time, I mean, people ripping off Nike stores, coming out with 9, 10, 12 boxes of shoes, so many boxes that they were falling and fights were breaking out over the falling shoes. Like, they just need the bread. She's been hanging out with Bernie Sanders too long. At least in the bread line, you get the bread. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves. We love you, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
I don't have a song to sing, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna keep singing so that you won't go away. I'm done. Bye, guys.
Bye.
It was a song. It counts.